Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Alan Wake. Now, I just kind of want to rush through this game, so I'm gonna...
What the hell was that? I saw it from the window. I saw something.
Forget about it,
just
Barry.
walk
It's just me going
forward.
crazy.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Ow, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
Is there a reason to climb up this edge or this edge? Doesn't seem like there really is. Yeah, so we know this game is going to be longer with the fights, and maybe if I just have an accelerated experience in that way, we will be able to just experience the game and get it through. It's going to be a lot of cutscenes, a lot of conversation, and a lot of just picking up manuscript pages and other things. When you walk in the light, you clearly go to a checkpoint. When you see something like this, you clearly are supposed to pick up batteries and things. And how many batteries you get when you pick up something like that seems to be very varied. How many bullets you get seems to be very varied. You probably wouldn't do too badly, particularly since I'm not playing on Nightmare difficult, just to reach an area, spin around, see if
was at the far end of the nature trail.
See if you do this. You know what's funny is the cabin we started at was, they told us if you needed help finding it, just go to the radio antenna. Then it immediately told us put us in a cutscene and directly entered the area, the cabin. So there was literally no reason whatsoever for them to say that line other than this is just what you need to do. And this area's too big probably to be just a collectible. But that being said, I guess it was just a collectible. Maybe I should use the shotgun. Next time I run into some enemies, I'm gonna see if I can just put the light on them and shoot them. Having to actually completely dispel the weapon, the darkness, is not a fun, quick mechanic. In fact, I think it was in one of the Zelda games there was a similar mechanic where you had to break the darkness and kill him. And I wonder if that Zelda game came out before this. It's not like the idea is amazingly unique or smart. The idea of enemies. This game probably did come out slightly before the Slender Man became a big deal, though, so... And that guy just sideswiped me. There's definitely an issue of the games not really knowing how to make good video games, because it's not a very fun experience to get attacked from off screen ever. And most people would have known that. We're trying to get the Lover's Peak, but it seems to benefit us a little bit to check out some other places. And they're not amazingly long side tracks. And clearly this is just a forest that was designed. And see, if the company that made this was actually just usually hired to make forest designs, and then they reuse the forest design, that would kind of make sense. And put their own character in it and put their own story in it. That might explain something. Let's see, Lover's Peak. And as we get further and further, this might just be a cutscene. Pick up shotgun ammo, pick up the shotgun. These are bears. And we could really use that. Took 4 instead of regular. The great old one, foiled by lightning. And you instantly put in batteries. Which is ridiculous. Why does it take time to reload your gun and then no time to put in batteries? And I could be totally in the wrong place. Like, I don't know if this is the way. I guess this is the way. And you're not really supposed to leave the beaten path. And if I thought there was an upgrade system that was going to show up, that would be interesting. Honestly, they probably should just take the whole gun mechanic out of the game. Like, make the player run for it and be afraid. Start this with the B button and then have to press the A button to get it to work. Again, I heard on more difficult settings that was actually really annoying to do. Pick up things with B instead of A, which is odd. Another axe and things. There's just going to be an axe in everything. Any phone, any source of light. A manuscript page. This would be right now a prime time to introduce dogs. If dogs were gonna run at us and have very little darkness on them, so you immediately hit them with the light as soon as you saw them and then did one shot and kill them, that would be cool. These birds are not real. They're not there. Like, a faster enemy to attack you would be cool. Unfortunately, these guys are already pretty fast, so they're not that slow That this mechanic allows you to just zoom in on somebody too. If it had a targeting reticle and the controlling was a little bit better, you would be one-shotting everybody. Just because you have so much time to aim, even though the characters are moving faster than I would like. This is interesting that this area is lit up, and as far as I can tell, there's nothing there. Maybe that's one of the locations of a nightmare difficulty note. Through tree. Yeah, I kind of do imagine you could just have a you could have this area reused in a couple other games without even changing too much, and I bet people wouldn't even notice. Separate its release from a few years. I probably missed something back there. I don't really care enough. The mapping in the areas are not great. You can see they're giving us just a very basic map to look at. That's interesting. The light gets brighter when you focus, even from other sources. So we are in the top left towards Lover's Peak, and we started down in the bottom right, I would guess, at the Visitor Center. And if the game has us run through this forest a second time, that's not going to be so good, but it's also not so good as far as the development of your game, which certainly explains why there's so many cutscenes. What I would have wanted to do is embrace an open world design and have you go in multiple places for multiple reasons. And now you show a cutscene? If you were going to do that, why not show a cutscene before? Who's this guy?
Come on, we gotta get moving. More of them coming. That flashlight's kid stuff. The flares will keep the bastards away.
And it's almost like they're reintroducing flares.
You see them too?
Hell, of course I see them. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but
Let's move.
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
Come on, Wake.
Hold down the right bump to use a flare.
I'll knock him down, Wake.
So this is not a flare gun as much as just a flare. And you just... And it says follow the kidnapper. So we kind of know that he's a kidnapper. I have 5 flares, by the way. That's a terrible way to write that. Why didn't they just say write follow the man? Just walk in front of the gun for no reason. Pick up some more flares.
Lover's Peak. Right up these stairs, Wake. Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do, Wake.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun!
No time for back talk. Hold them off, damn it.
Hold right trigger to use a flare.
Just a little longer. Scare them off. Get some light on those bastards. That'll keep them off us. Just a little longer. I almost got it.
And see, this just feels like
Okay, it's open.
this is a completely different game. Feels kind of like a carnival game of keeping an ever encroaching
Wait.
clown head.
Better get ready. They'll be on us soon.
Entering Lover's Peak. It is something different. I have to applaud
This is
that.
it, Wake. A last stand. There's more flares here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake.
Let's pick up this coffee thermos that was hiding here. And it just wants me to use up all the all of this. I don't even see any enemies. So either we've cleared out the whole area or something else happened.
That's right.
And getting the light on them doesn't seem to fully work.
You just keep coming. Die already, die! This is a piece of cake, Wake.
It just doesn't. This feels stupid. And I'm dead.
Stand. There's more flares here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes.
I get a bunch of flares. And does the darkness reinvigorate these guys? And that really destroys the drama of something like this when you die and have to do it all over again. Seems like these guys have to be really, really close to the flare for it to affect them that much. My health is at the max, but this guy's a big factor. So there's a little bit more, and that was it.
Cut the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were gonna say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations. You're gonna bring about something glorious and terrible once we get you some proper editorial control.
What the hell are you talking about? Where's Alice?
I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad.
You touch her mouth.
And see, I still feel like Alice is probably not even real. But maybe also that guy is a...
You're gonna give me the manuscript or you'll be sorry. No! Come back here! I swear I'll kill you if you hurt Alice! Do you hear me? Come back here! He had Alice, and he wanted the manuscript because he thought it held some magical power. But I had no manuscript to give him. I had to get back to Barry and figure out my next move.
We're just picking up flares and things. And when we look at the manuscript, how many pages are still missing? There's about 8 in this episode. I wouldn't be upset if this was like a 5-episode game, just because I want it over with. Let's just be honest here. There's nothing great going on. The concept of her being kidnapped and you having to bring the entire manuscript isn't a terrible idea, but it's been introduced late and on top of several other ideas that are mostly conflicting. That being given something else to think about is not really what I want right now. Maybe if I went up that tree I could, let's see. Doesn't seem like I'm supposed to be able to do this, but seems like you very possibly could. This feels like this is a more engine-based game than them doing that extra quality assurance to say this is an area you can climb, this is an area you can't climb. And so it feels like we're mostly Skyrim mountain climbing.
What the hell? Rusty had warned me about these traps. It hurt like hell. I was stuck.
And so the game has just introduced an idea with our infinite refill of life that just slowly comes about. Like, you have infinite bullets, you have infinite life, and now I have literally no reason to want to investigate for the collectibles, because if I do, then I potentially suffer from being... Here we go. There's a triangle of cans, which I may have missed a couple of those already. And just like Resident Evil 4, you can shoot these. if you see them. Question I suppose to ask would be, do these catch the other people? And we're making it through the woods now in a slightly odd way. Game hitched up there for a second. Am I going the right direction? Like, I think this is where we were at the beginning. And we're just back in the forest. We were in the forest earlier. This whole area is mostly forest, and it's not gonna be... Like, what else can you do in a small city besides run around the forest? You can try to introduce some other areas, buildings, large buildings, malls, military facility. I don't know how you integrate any of that. Oh, abandoned military facility I guess might work. And I don't know if I'm going anywhere where I'm supposed to. This actually might just be where we started. And we kind of know we're supposed to go that way to get back. And if this is all the game has to offer, is let's give you some more like places to wander around. Yeah, this is where we started, so we've gone full circle. I'm not happy with that at all. I'm not happy that I'm getting lost. There's literally no map. Like, let me just make sure the back button and the map button both do the same thing. And maybe there's a trick. I think this is the idea, is I was supposed to have followed all of this pattern. Let's go. This gets me to this point where I found that and that. Which maybe this is the direction. It's pretty boring. We got to a checkpoint, so at least we know we're somewhat in the right direction. And they just come out of nowhere, don't they? That's just a smoldering flare. And see, that one came out of the bushes as I was targeting the other, and back this way there's somebody else, I'm pretty sure. I guess not. I just feel like Microsoft may have rushed them, or the creators of this game, or somebody else rushed them, because this needs more time. It needs more time in the oven, as a baker might say. Right. I don't have any flares left. And when it pushes me away for a fight, is that the way I'm supposed to go? Or is this maybe a collectible? Oh, I'm out of battery. I'm out of everything. Alright, pick up this. Feels like that manuscript page also got moved around, which the game should not be allowed to do that. Making these save points doesn't actually feel like it makes it any safer. So I have 3 shots with the shotgun, and that is it. Batteries, revolver ammo. So that seems, there's bear traps on the sides of this building. A tree.
I had heard the plane fall. It made no sense. It was clear that it had just fallen here, but it was very old and obviously hadn't flown in decades. Looking at it sent a shiver down my spine.
That, I didn't hear a plane fall. I'm just gonna say that to start with. And secondarily, this is just more of him hallucinating things, I think. So did this take me in any direction that would have helped? It's really not something we need in the game. Seems like there was something flickering. I desperately need this. Flares, flares, flares. That's all it was, though. So where am I supposed to go now? every little area just has about a couple of yards worth of space around it, and then it's a dead end. So you're in these caverns. I could certainly use another flare, another checkpoint, and we'll head to the light. Let's see if we can just do that. Nope. And I'm dead. So let's try this again. Like, this is a sequence that would have worked fine in a much larger game with more mechanics to... Let's see, does that work? Are they gone? It almost feels like you could play a pacifist game. Hunting rifle, ammo, revolver, ammo. Like, maybe there is some way to play a pacifist run. And I'm going that direction. There's like creepiness. So when they run into the light from the generators, it does seem to kill them instantly. So it's slightly helpful, but in the end, because it's constantly going to spawn a few more people at you, you're not going to be able to play the game without killing people. I guess Stucky in particular proves that to be true, because if there was a way to beat that boss fight without killing him, it would have had to have been pretty obvious, or nobody would have ever figured it out, and if nobody ever figures it out, it might as well not exist. And they burst with light when you destroy the darkness, but not enough to... Remember, I'm playing on easy too. Let's take a moment to remind people that I am playing on easy. We're going this way. And I just don't want to go through all this again. But you've got to. There's no running. The run mechanic is worthless. Picking up coffee, by the way, doesn't refill your health any. And there is no health kits or health pickups. This is clearly scripted, but it's not scripted in a good way. I'd almost say put this as an on-rail shooter at this point. You might as well just have more enemies and have me shooting them constant. I think you need to make a compromise in that they shouldn't be completely invincible in darkness. They should be just harder to kill. But then you have to introduce probably an idea of aiming with the gun and just gonna run so that doesn't destroy me. Like, introduce the idea of that splash? Nope. Of aiming the gun with one control stick and aiming the light with another control stick. And I don't think that'd be very fun either. We haven't stepped on any of that, so I wouldn't be surprised if it hurts you when you step on it. Or when you touch it. I guess we gotta learn. Yep. It hurts you when you step on it. Of course, if there was some achievement for never doing that in the entire game, I've just blown that, but I couldn't really care about achievements in this game. You gotta make me actually care about the game before you can convince me to play it more via achievements. And what are we doing? Like, are we looking for manuscript pages, or are we trying to find the kidnapper and save Alice? Because those are pretty different things. I'm gonna kick this, and that's gonna raise an elevator. And then what? I guess maybe I can jump and come over here and see. Almost certainly gonna just activate a cutscene and leave this area. That the sun will rise and we will be done. Because it's either that happens or we fight. Pick up some more flares. And climb mechanic. Do you add a lot to the game by having a what would you call it? Having platforming in this game? Climbing ladders and jumping? Because we do have some of that. But if it was a lot more while being chased by dark entities of some sort. Darkness.
Be aware of Widowmakers.
And see, the darkness wears her face. Oh, he's dead. That was a big boss fight, and the game is so messed up that now we have this hunting rifle, which is more bullets than the shotgun. There's a manuscript page. And we definitely are just now platforming. Did we miss anything else? Seriously, it's not even worth looking for. Just run around, see if there's anything here. Find that there isn't. Follow this area. And yeah, it still has us picking up things, which doesn't make sense. Like, there's one more missing page and two that I think we probably missed. And then we have almost everything else. And our timing is definitely a little off, because at this point, we're probably going to start next recording and finish this episode, and then they'll go into the music, and then we'll be uninterested in listening to the music. We've killed 68 creatures with the revolver, 7 with the flare gun, 2 with the hunting rifle, 0 actually with the shotgun. So since we know the weapons we're going to have, we're not going to get really surprised here. Flashbangs at some point, vehicles at some point, 3 indirect kills, poltergeist objects destroyed, 0. I don't know particularly what that means, other than maybe the TVs or the radios. Apparently I've killed 4 birds, but I haven't seen any of them die. Maybe that was for ratings reasons, that they took out the death animations of the birds and made them immortal. 49 batteries have been used, 30 manuscript pages of 106, which I assume the 106 doesn't include the nightmare difficulty pages. Otherwise, that's going to be kind of irritating. I'm not sure where the DLC comes in on this, too, if I even have it. It's kind of impossible to tell. We found 22 of the coffee thermoses. We've knocked over 1 of the 12 pyramid cans. 6 of 30 chests. 4 of 11 TV radio stations. 4 of 14 TV stations. 2 of 25 signs found. Not exactly sure which signs they're talking about. We haven't found any alarm clocks or any cardboard standees or Night Springs video games, but all of those actually might be the DLC too. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that is it. But still not having a great time. I'm really never started off on the right foot with this game, and it's not done anything so far to entertain me. Even for a 9-year-old game, there are things like Resident Evil 4 and the previous Resident Evil games that are better than this and have more interesting story. Even though Resident Evil's story by all measure is a ridiculously horribly written story, at the very least it can keep your attention and it's flashy and interesting. This is just dull. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.